Her fourth double-double of the season on Sunday against Clemson, included 18 assists. Jasmine Robinson is the leading blocker for UVA. For SMU, Avery Carlson, number 3 in the NCAA in assists per set, getting 11.06 done for her Mustangs, while Favor Anyanwu is one of the best in the countries at the net. 1.41 blocks per set for the sophomore transfer from Southern Cal. Carlson, Sam Erger calls her the Aaron Rodgers of volleyball. She just puts the ball where it needs to be, a pro-style setter for these Mustangs.
And how fitting is that with Dallas coming into the Metroplex? And we know that those are goals of hers as well post her collegiate career, but she's running the show like a pro right now, and having hot hands like Malaya Jones is really helpful getting her numbers up.
Cadence Booth begins this one for the Cavaliers. Light touch by the freshman Maggie Croft. We focused on 2 other freshmen off the top, Chanel, but Croft scores the first point.
Yes, we're going to see a different and very young group of SMU players out here today. But one thing Erger emphasized is about being smart, not going and trying to thread the needle. So throwing a tip right over is going to have the Cavaliers on their toes right off the bat.
Jordan Schilling with the first serve for SMU. The transfer from High Point. Anyanwu and Wilburn setting up shop. 2-0 Mustangs. Schilling, the team leader, with 2.98 digs per set. Reagan Innist gets it on the back line. First Cavalier point of the night.
She's going to be their hot hand. She's been their go-to since their Syracuse game. That was a great shot to the back corner right off the tips of that SMU block.
Yeah, rewind to that Syracuse game, Chanel. 32 kills for Innist in that one in early October. On a program record, 89 swings. Here's Favor Anyanwu. She is so incredibly physical for SMU, and UVA has to find a way to slow that down.
Yep, for Virginia, their keys going into tonight is you have to serve tough. SMU is such a physical team. You have to get them off the net and make them a 2-option team, making it easier to get some block touches and dig some balls out to extend those rallies. And you got to move on from those big points quickly as well. SMU is going to bounce balls, they know that, but they can't let that momentum build.
3-2 SMU after Becca White gets her first kill of the day, her first swing. Making Meredith Reed on service for Virginia. Wilburn gets a tip, point to the Mustangs.
I'm interested to see SMU's serving strategy tonight. They were trying to slow down Ennis as much as they can, and by doing that, serving her is a good way to wear her down over the course of the match. So I am really thinking she'll be a starting target tonight.
Long pass to Innist, recycled for the Cavaliers. Malaya Jones, then into Kennedy Rogers on the left side. Over the top of the blockers for SMU. Carlson to Rogers. Another superstar freshman for SMU. Anyanwu sends it back. Jones keeps it alive. Carlson feeds Rogers. The longest point of the night so far goes to SMU.
And I love the defensive effort from Virginia. Bodies on the floor. You see a relentless pursuit there, but SMU being really smart and playing the short game, being successful with this tip right over the Virginia block.
Wilburn, the freshman from Dripping Springs, Texas, should be playing 3 rounds deep in the UIL playoffs right now in high school, reclassified this summer. Here's Favor Anyanwu, her second kill.
Yep, she is only 17 years old and playing a big role for this SMU team.
How about Anyanwu coming back home to the Dallas area? Went to Saxe High School, where in addition to her volleyball prowess, Anyanwu was a state champion in shot put.
that explains the cannon we see and why defenders are scared. They're shaking in their boots when she's up there with a single block. You got to get forehands up at the net, otherwise we're all in danger.
Mustangs 6, Cavaliers 3 in set 1. Ennis puts the ball in play. Carlson to the back row from Malaya Jones. That is dangerous.
And teams know Malaya Jones is the #1 attacker for SMU. You can find her in the front court, the back court. You throw up a ball and she's going to find a way to score, and I love how she's attacking the 1-6 seam there.
Casey Badenhorst checks in. Had an ace on Sunday at Duke. Now up to 20 on the year. Cadence Booth denied by Wilburn. From the back row for Virginia, Ennis too strong.
What a dig. We saw that one-handed stab coming from Wilburn. She's holding it down defensively right now, and we're seeing Virginia start to make a few errors here. Coach talks about how they're always playing at 100%, and sometimes maybe they need to take that 75% swing if they're not feeling like they can absolutely get a kill on the ball.
Carlson beating Rogers. Dug out by Booth. Now another chance for SMU. It's Jones able to tool the block for her second kill.
She makes it look like it's just her second nature. She's going up, taking swings. It's either a clean kill, she can tool off the block. She has so many weapons in her pocket that she's able to whip out at any moment.
SMU wants to serve tough tonight. Almost had ace number 21 on the year for Badenhorst. But how about cleaning it up? Nearly had the ace. Instead, it's Rogers with a ferocious attack.
With punctuation right here, putting that play to an end.
4-0 SMU. Going early.
Yep, Berger knows the physicality of this SMU team. If anything, tonight was all about a mental preparation, and the focus is on their side of the net. So if they're playing clean, they're setting themselves up really well for a win tonight.
Rogers off balance, but Virginia coming over the net and making contact. Gives SMU the point, extends the run to 5 straight for the Mustangs. Badenhorst nearly had her 21st ace of the season before the UVA timeout. Here's Carlson on the attack. Right back to her. Badenhorst will feed Rogers. Chance for UVA, light touch from Booth. And Rogers can't keep it off the floor. Point for UVA.
Really good for UVA to send this easy tip over the net, getting SMU more in a scramble. They're running around a little out of sorts and breaking that momentum in that run that they had there, trying to catch back up.
Here's Kate Johnson, the senior, a leader in the back row for the Cavaliers. Dumped over by Avery.
So smooth and effortless. She goes up selling this set, and when you have a perfect pass like that and you have hot hands at the net, they run such a fast tempo offense. The blockers are holding and no one is home, putting it straight to the floor.
SMU's lead is now 8. Ennis. Violation called on the Cavaliers.
Cavaliers giving away a couple free points right there. You can see the connection is a little out of sorts for their offense right now, and they're not able to get some big clean swings like SMU is.
Carlson last Friday had her 7th double-double of the season. And SMU's 5-set loss to North Carolina. That is wide of the line. 10-point SMU lead. And another timeout called by Virginia and head coach Shannon Wells. Wells was Sunday at Pitt. This is a really difficult swing for any ACC team. Pitt and SMU being travel partners, you're always going to play the Mustangs and the Panthers back-to-back in one order or the other.
Right. And SMU started off conference play with Pitt back-to-back, so it's just tough all around ACC conference in general.
10-point SMU lead. Virginia back on the board after Mustangs had scored 3 straight.
Cadence Booth with a hot hand. She was out for 3 weeks at the beginning of the season and has come back playing her best volleyball according to Coach Wells right now, finding that gap between the freshmen and the backcourt.
Zoe Doe, the sophomore, team leader, has 27 aces this season, and Rogers back in the action. Best on the Mustangs tonight with 4 kills. She comes out in favor of Gentry Lamoran.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. She's 1,000 on that tip right over the block so far. Easy point for SMU.
Lamoran on Sunday had 4 kills against Duke. Her first kills since early September. Becca White denied by Lamoran. Now Carlson to Jones.
Lamoran is such a great all-around player. You'll see her in the back row. She'll take some hot swings on the front row as well. She's just a great utility player and has great ball control, which is why Coach Erger trusts her enough to go in and serve, or maybe go in as a passing sub sometimes as well.
Really efficient in Durham. Those 4 kills came with just 1 error and an ace for Madam President Gentry Lamoran, the Student Athlete Advisory Council Prez here on the Hilltop.
Using the net in her favor, rolling right over the tape in front of those Cavaliers.
Lamoran wants to put up a united front on behalf of all student athletes in that role. Serve that community well. Well, she's serving well, period, for SMU right now. But Virginia gets a point back, climbs back within 11. Cadence Booth, the transfer from Tennessee, will now have service. Didn't have to get rid of the orange in her wardrobe. Krista Wilburn, that one's sent back. Another chance for SMU. This time it's Croft who's denied. White trying to make contact at the net, unsuccessful, and well out of bounds.
Going for those high hands. You can see she took kind of a half swing. If you're going to go for those high hands, that's a swing you want to take at 100%. Don't second guess yourself and just take a rip at it, and good things are going to happen.
Back to Jordan Schilling. SMU leads by 12, and Schilling has an ace.
Great location there, dropping it right in zone 4, barely making it over the net in front of that 10-foot line.
That's the 23rd ace of the season for Schilling, second best on the Mustangs. Only Krista Wilburn has been better. She has 34. Overpass, and you can't give that the favor.
Alley-oop for the wrong side there. Favor taking charge of this overpass. Putting in the backcourt, super easy. Shout out to Schilling at the service line.
Mustangs into the red zone, 20-6. Katie Barrier keeps it going. And Ennis gives SMU a free ball for Anyanwu.
Sending over easy points like that to SMU, you know they're going to capitalize and probably try to run their middles. Hands up a little too late. Anyanwu's able to spin it through those hands.
21-6. SMU in set 1. Ennis has it sent back. The block gets it done for SMU again.
And great blocks are able to be set up with great serving. Schilling is hitting all the right zones right now. They have a 2-man passing pattern back there, and they are really driving the edges, making them get off the net and super predictable for their offense.
22-6. On the line, an ace again for Schilling. 2 in this sequence.
Barely finding that tape, but she has so much room right now, and she is able to hit a quarter if you drop it on that line. Her location is that precise.
That is 6 straight points for SMU. 23-6 is the count. Ennis able to end the run for the Mustangs and avoid set point.
Virginia really needing to tie a few points together, just get some energy back on their side of the net, maybe a few big swings to build more momentum.
Here's Barrier. Team high 19 digs for her on Sunday against Clemson. Jones, do not play with Lay.
Absolutely gorgeous swing there. They get a perfect pass. Carlson throws it up inside. You can see Jones coming in inside of the block and able to absolutely terminate this ball.
Team leader with nearly 4 kills a set gets SMU to set points. Carlson right back to Jones to end it. 25-7. Dominance from the Mustangs in set 1, Chanel.
I mean, what a clean set. You can't really ask for more as a head coach.
25-7 in set 1 for SMU. We are underway in set 2, and Virginia gets the first point, and that has to be the key for Coach Wells and her staff in between sets. The count doesn't matter. It's 1-0, and everything starts fresh.
That's a perfect start for them for sure, getting a big swing right now. We're seeing them be successful on that back corner, the edges of the court now, trying to take huge swings into that SMU block because they know they're very big.
Carlson to Jones again. 14th assist for Carlson and 6th kill for Jones.
I think Avery Carlson could probably close her eyes and set the ball to Malaya Jones, and she could fly out of anywhere and try to get a kill right now and be successful.
Here's Wilburn, score tied at 1. Set up by Dode and sent back by Croft and Lamoran.
Croft and Lamoran being patient. You get a perfect pass. They know that Virginia's trying to get their middles a little more involved. They weighed in on it, pressing over, and that's the difference between the two right now. When SMU's getting a perfect pass, they're putting it away, and Virginia hasn't been.
Jasmine Robinson was on the attack there for UVA. Return back to the Cavaliers side in a hurry. Here's Gentry, wide of the line. Point Cavaliers, 2-2.
We know Robinson trying to fill that middle role for Virginia's bit in a different offensive scheme for them. She has to run a bit quicker up in offense, getting her arm up faster and being able to put the ball away instead of waiting on a lob that she's used to.
Carlson feeding Croft.
Croft is wasting no energy. She's up, she's open. Carlson trusts her enough. Coming around with a single block, pulling it back the other direction.
Croft had 2 kills against North Carolina, 2 more against Duke on SMU's road trip. After the joust, it's on the SMU side, but it's the Virginia block. Ennis and Robinson sending it back.
This is the Ennis the Virginia team needs right now. She's up high, bringing a little bit of swagger on her way down, bringing some energy back to the service line.
3-3, Mustangs and Cavaliers. The freshman who turned 18 a week ago. Here's Lamoran, the seasoned vet for SMU, and sent back again by the UVA blockers. This time, Dode and Robinson.
Defense picking up for Virginia, able to get in front of the ball, having a little bit better eye sequencing and getting in front of the SMU attackers.
Virginia has the lead, 4-3 in set 2. Carlson, John Yanwu recycled for the Ponies. Lamoran can't get it to the floor. Booth goes cross court. Lamoran digs it out. Anyanwu denied by Reed. The SMU block of Anyanwu, and Jones gets the point and evens the score at 4.
Returning the favor at the net, high there, up there on the block, waiting, pressing back to 6. In coverage, getting a little scrambled over there, not able to return.
Here's Jones. Ranks number 5 in the ACC with 3.98 kills per set. Has 6 so far tonight. Set up for Booth. Point UVA.
Carlson taking a huge rip here, sending that second ball over, just grabbing the tip of the net on her follow through right there.
Yeah, that one, Virginia trying to get it to Booth. A little too much. Then Carlson too much on the Mustang side.
Nice job, Joe.
Now Lamoran gets the point right back for SMU. Lamoran's first kill.
Loving how she's staying aggressive. She gets blocked once. She's not scared to take another rip at it, using the hands of the block.
Lamoran hadn't registered a kill since September 6th against Stony Brook. Before that match against Duke on Sunday. Played all 3 sets of that one. 6-5 Virginia. First service error on either side. Here's Booth in front of Lamoran. 2-point Cavalier lead.
The Cavaliers really need to take off here. They're not running that 6-2, the 5-1 offense is what they're sticking to tonight. So they're missing that offensive threat when they have 3 people across the front row. So Cadence Booth has a little more help being able to pull the block away from her and find some more space to score.
First swing of the day for Madison Shear. And it's good down in the corner.
Yep, Shear taking a note out of their playbook, going for those edges. You see the bro is way inside, leaving a lot of space over down the line in zone 5.
Shear had 11 blocks. Excuse me, 11 kills over the weekend against Duke and North Carolina combined. Carlson to Jones. And an overpass. Maggie Croft is there to return it.
We're seeing a lot of balls, passes, and digs really tight on the net from the Cavaliers. Maybe working on pulling that off a little bit around the 10-foot line. They're able to run that offense instead of try to fight those overpasses.
Jones should get partial credit.
Absolutely.
There, right?
For sure, for sure.
7-7. Miscommunication by the Cavaliers leads to a Mustang point and gives SMU the lead.
Cavaliers need to capitalize on those easy points. Going against a number 10 team like that, you have to make sure that communication is not a problem. That's one of the things you want to worry about the least when you're in this Moody gym.
3-0 run by SMU. Gives the Mustangs a 1-point lead. There's Shear going down the line. A diving Doe can't get to it.
And that was so quick. You could see the middle was up and the blockers didn't know who was going. It's just such a fast tempo. No one is there. She throws it right down.
Baden Horse already has 1 ace today. Nearly had a second. Then ran to Carlson and on to Croft. Sent across by Ennis. Shear again. Into the donut.
SMU knows that that donut gap space is open, especially when they're in system. No one is pulling up to sit right there. So if you can just quickly get it over those blockers' hands, you're most likely going to end up with a point.
Five straight points for SMU. AC Baden Horse run continues from the line. UVA has already matched its point total from set 1. Can't add to it here. Sent back by Shear and Croft.
Fourth block for SMU tonight. They're able to get an early read on it, set up those hands, and make sure that there's no space left. Cadence Booth trying to fight it over Croft.
Just 1 block for SMU in the first set. 3 more in the second. Barrier to Booth. Point for UVA as Booth has a team leading 5 kills.
Booth taking that off speed down the line is giving her some success. Malaya Jones really wanting that ball, but doing more harm than good on that play. Just a really uncomfortable spot and smart play there coming from Booth.
Booth at the service line. Carlson with her second dump shot of the day.
Great pass coming there from middle blocker Maggie Croft, trying to take her out of the offense, but you can't forget about Avery Carlson. She's front row right now.
12-8 Mustangs. Carlson back to the line. Booth, too strong on the attack. Her 5 kills have come on 14 attacks. That's her 4th error.
You know, Virginia has been struggling with point scoring. They're passing well, but when they get a good pass, they're not able to terminate. So you have to capitalize on when you're in system.
SMU at the net with their 5th block of the night.
Shear and Croft, a dynamic duo over there, shutting down that right side attacker.
Timeout called by Virginia. Find some pieces to do more damage with Jaden Livings unavailable. That should be until the end of November. Expecting to have her back in time for the postseason. Natalia Newsom also out of the lineup, likely until the end of this month. But despite missing those 2 big pieces, SMU dominates set 1 and now up big here in set 2.
And SMU carries so much depth within their bench. They can throw anybody out there and know that they're going to get the job done. Their B side in the gym is basically just as good as their A side. They're super competitive, and they know what the job is, what the assignment is, and they get it done when they step out there on game time.
Shear gets blocked by Dean and White.
SMU trying to run a pretty quick offense here, but you've got some length in front of you. She's able to get over there and close that gap down the line.
6-point SMU advantage. This is Barrier. Carlson to Jones. Off a pair of Cavalier blockers and to the Terraflex.
Virginia trying to serve short and catch SMU off guard, but they are ready from the jump. They're predicting it, able to get a pass and spread that offense. I love this long string set to Jones. And again, unstoppable, finding kills from anywhere.
Krista Wilburn to the line. 4 digs for her tonight. Best on this SMU roster. Overpass. And Croft send it back. A violation called on Virginia. Point to the Mustangs.
Again, another tight ball, easy point for SMU. You can't give away free points like that. Error on the safe side. It doesn't have to be perfect, but give your team a chance to run their offense.
Wilburn off the hand. You knew it would be long. And Meredith Reeg, veteran libero and defensive specialist for these Cavaliers. Couple of digs for her tonight. Here's Lamoran. Quickly dumped over by Zoe Dode, the sophomore from Michigan.
Really intelligent play. She's in the front row. She doesn't have many options back row, especially with Meredith at the service line. They don't have that right side attack like Malaya Jones is for SMU, so she's taking care of business herself.
Cavaliers within 6, pancaked by Barrier, and Virginia takes advantage of that and gets the points. It all started with the junior transfer from Tennessee.
Who doesn't love a good pancake? Sliding in just in time. And you see the center is right there, is perfectly placed. She saw it, read it, threw up a good ball to Ennis, and took that thumb up shot down to corner 1.
5-point SMU lead. Firepower coming in from the president.
You can hear the crowd on that one. We're seeing some more power from Gentry here. No more off speed. She put that down with authority, going straight down the line.
(18-12) SMU, thanks to Gentry Lamoran. Staying alive after the joust. Ennis to Wilburn. Now Carlson to Lamoran. More firepower, but dug out that time by UVA. Wilburn keeps the point alive. Another chance for Ennis. Mustangs can put it away with Jones. No. Barrier to Ennis. Cavaliers persevere.
Fighting to live another day. I'm loving the defense here. Ennis finding that open space. She saw SMU shifted their defense, and that 6 zone is pretty open right now. So if you can get through that block, that ball's going down.
Ennis, the breakout rookie star for the Cavaliers, gets the kill and back at the line. Carlson to Lamoran. Back and forth we go, and now UVA with another opportunity. Pushed over by Booth for the points.
Booth finding success again. They're giving up that line right there on the off speed when it's a fast tempo and system. She's mature, she's seen that, and she's using it right now to her advantage.
18-14 SMU. Ennis scrapes the nets. Robinson sent it back. Mustangs able to keep the point going. Here's Jones over the top of a couple of blockers. From the back row, Ennis. Lamoran keeping that one going. Nothing much that Booth could do, just coming to her feet to send it across. Ennis attacking. Violation called on UVA though.
Both teams being super scrappy in that rally. We saw Malaya Jones coming in for the coverage when she's not getting set. I love the team effort there. And then you see Booth having to scramble up off her feet, coming down on a lot of tight sets right now to the net. So I'm loving the effort.
Ennis, another whistle coming. Same call there, Chanel.
Yep, that's her third back row attack error we've seen on the match so far tonight. Those are the quick adjustments you have to make. I know she's a freshman and you're young, but when it happens one time, how quickly can you turn around and make sure that error doesn't happen again?
Mustangs get into the red in the ACC. They are third best in hitting percentage, second best in assists and opponent blocks, and fifth in blocks in the toughest conference in college volleyball. 20-14 SMU. That one just wide of the line on the Mustang attack.
Yep, just her second error on the night so far. So when you're taking huge swings like that, you still trust her. She's missed 2 out of 13 attempts and still has 7 kills, hitting almost 400. But talk about all cylinders firing. SMU is leading the country in the ACC in 6 categories. They're 8th in hitting percentage. In blocks per set, they're 26th in the country, 32nd assist per set. So they're doing some good things all the way around, coming from each position.
20-15 SMU, make it 21, thanks to number 21.
Favor on Yanwu was definitely a key in tonight's offense for SMU, especially with Natalia Newsom out. They wanted to feed her some more balls and make sure she's carrying a heavier load, so when Newsom is back, it's just like they haven't missed a single beat.
Here's Lamoran, the senior from Decatur, Texas. She'll be honored on Sunday along with her other senior teammates. We focused on freshmen off the top of this broadcast, Chanel, but Sunday it'll be all about these graduating players.
Sure, we'll have tears in the crowd and we're going to hear the boo-hoos. They love these seniors for SMU, a lot of hometown kids as well. And they've done a lot for this team this season, bringing so much maturity. And 2 of which, Gentry, Lamoran, and Batenhorst, 2 of the only players that have spent 4 years under Coach Erger's era here at SMU.
Here's Shear, off hands. A chance for Virginia, going down the tape for the points. That kind of English on the ball is hard to accomplish.
Really hard, but she's so long. She's able to get almost completely on the side of that ball, taking only a 50% swing, but finding that court 5 feet off the net and right on the line.
21-17 Mustangs. Carlson to Shear. Down just across the nets.
Shear, again, super reliable. We're not seeing a bunch of power right now, but she's able to get up to the net and find the gaps, use the block to her advantage, and get a quick point for SMU and turn around and try to finish off set 2 here.
Mustangs 3 points away from doing just that, leading 22-17. Batenhorst has the ace.
A theme going in tonight was to serve tough but reliable, and Batenhorst is the package when it comes to that. She's always serving tough. You can guarantee that she's going to come out with an ace or 2 in every single match, and she's super reliable, no error.
That's 2 tonight. Now 22 on the season. Goff can't send it down to the floor. Another back row violation coming against Virginia.
Virginia really struggling to keep the ball off the net and struggling with Batenhorst serve. It's so low and it floats so well, which can be really tough to get underneath for the passers.
Set point for SMU in set 2. 24-17 is the count. And into the net, just low from White. SMU dominant match out. And as Coach Erger described it, this is the other team's Super Bowl. They want to knock off a ranked opponent before their year is complete.
Yeah, Virginia is going into this with a nothing to lose kind of mindset. They are the underdogs. They know that. And the last thing they want to do is leave here in a sweep. They want to at least take a set off this SMU team and break that 4-game losing streak.
Underway in set 3 as SMU tries to accomplish its 9th sweep of the year. That will help. That's all favor on Yanwu.
Setting the tone early here in set 3. She is a force to be reckoned with at the net. I mean, she shows up big time offensively, bouncing balls, but getting past that block is also super difficult for their opponents.
Favor one of the best in the conference to do it. You see the top 6 in the ACC in that category. Favor's near the top in a couple of statistical categories in the ACC. 6th in blocks, 5th in hitting percentage.
Such a young player, but her ceiling is so high. I mean, she's one of the best in the position in the entire country.
2-1 SMU. Carlson to Jones. SMU planning to turn up the AC here in set 3 as Carlson gets her 21st assist.
She knows who the hot hand is. She finds ways to get kills for her team. She's super selfless, super smart, and knows where the gaps are in the other team's defense. Excuse me.
Long for Malaya Jones on service. 5th service error of the night for SMU, but the Mustangs do have 6 aces.
Yep, great ratio. Just it's always tough to have a back-to-back service error, especially early off in the match when you want to be building those runs.
Meredith Reed at the line for the Cavaliers. Here's Wilburn. And Innes as the 2-star freshman we spotlighted off the top go head-to-head. There's Anyanwu again.
Taking care of business as usual. That net has her name written all over it. When she is up there as an attacker, you have to beware. Do I have 4 hands in my face? And are 2 of those belonging to favor Anyanwu?
Wilburn part of that block as well. Carlson alongside Anyanwu. Into the net. And a point for the Ponies.
Ponies moving her around really well. She's able to slide over, get in that gap, and still find some space there on the sideline where Virginia can't scoop underneath in time.
Mustangs lead by 3. And that's long.
3 in a row for SMU. They're starting to fall a little bit away from that reliability factor and maybe need to take the gas pedal off power-wise and start focusing on that location, allowing them to play that SMU volleyball they want to see.
Here's Reagan Innes, turned 18 years old a week ago. Kennedy Rogers firing shots. SMU got her involved in the offense early. Now back at it in the third set.
Yes, welcome back, Kennedy Rogers. She was starting in set 1. Gentry Lamoran taking over in set 2, and now back for set 3, coming back with authority. I love the rips that she takes, and she's also super smart. Half her kills on tips in that first set.
6-3 SMU. Cadence Booth denied by Rogers. It all started with a dive from the freshman.
She remembered that first set. They scored on that tip a couple times, so she's making that adjustment that the head coach wants to see, quickly learning from it and then able to score right off the bat.
Timeout called by Virginia. They trail by 4. Looking behind the scenes on the hilltop, that's Casey Badenhorst with her third ace of the evening.
Miss Reliable back at the line. We saw 3 service errors from SMU early on in set 3 here, but Casey Badenhorst is not the one to be messing around. When she gets back there, she gets it done.
Last weekend went above her ace total from a season ago. She had 19. Now up to 23 on the season. Sent back by Jasmine Robinson, the transfer from Virginia Tech and UVA's leading blocker.
We're seeing some feistiness as she exits the court. She's up as a single double block, but hands over the net. You see that Maggie Croft has such little space to swing there, using her length.
8-4 SMU. Sarah Brodner back in the lineup. She's been out since October 26th. Last time she played was against Miami. Her service run comes to an end in a hurry.
I like how SMU is spreading their offense right now. When Favor is front row, they're running more of that gap and push, and then Maggie Croft running behind off that back foot, pulling a Molly McCabe slide on the professional level.
Here's Avery Carlson. She has 24 assists for SMU tonight. Mia Silva digging that one out. Here's Rogers. Rogers right there to meet the challenge. Cadence Booth, wide of the line, point Ponies.
Rogers protecting the net with as much as she can, taking care of those tight balls there. A lot of the time you see freshmen, they struggle a little bit, especially with a mature setter on the other side. Setters are really good at winning those tight jousts, but she held herself down.
10-4 SMU. Booth. There's Wilburn to keep it alive. Silva feeding Rogers, sent back, tooling the block.
And you can just tell when a kill is coming from Rogers if you just watch her approach. It is huge and aggressive, and you can see that she is going at every single ball with the mindset that she is putting it away.
Carlson with her team leading 11-4. Sent back again. Maggie Croft, Malaya Jones. That's a freshman and a grad student side by side.
You got to learn from the best, right? And SMU learns from all ages in the gym, but when you are playing with someone like Malaya Jones, you pick up a thing or two, and Maggie Croft up there and being big at that block.
12-4 Mustangs. Croft there again, but goes wide on the block. Point to the Cavaliers.
Wanting another one. She's got some good footwork, covering a lot of ground, covering pin to pin really well, just barely missing that one right out of bounds.
Zoe Dode. Carlson, long pass to Rogers with a rocket.
If I'm a defender, I'm begging my blockers to get a touch on this because the heat coming off of Rogers is just insane. She is what I would call someone who is not necessarily tiny, but boy, is she mighty. That ball is definitely knocking me out if I'm back there.
Gentry Lamoran will have service after Kennedy Rogers registers her 7th kill on 14 swings without a single error. 13-5 SMU. Lamoran puts the ball in play. Booth denied by Carlson. Here's Shear. Becca White able to get the job done for Virginia, hitting into the block.
Standing at 6'6", she is able to truly extend and get on top of this ball, making it a little funky for SMU block-wise. It's coming at an angle that you don't see every single day on the right side.
Kate Johnson, senior leader in Virginia's back row. There's Shear. Wilburn waiting on it. Nearly had it to the floor. Go to Wilburn again. White, struck out by Lamoran. Carlson feeds Wilburn. Right back to White. Returned by Croft and Wilburn. That's block number 9 for SMU.
We saw a lot of almost acrobatic digs in there. Each team fighting to keep the ball alive, but SMU setting up a great block, getting in front of the athlete who just scored the previous point.
Jordan Schilling. Schilling with a couple of digs and a couple of aces today. Try to keep her service run going as Innes attacks. Now Schilling to Wilburn. Well done by Barrier to keep the ball up. AC to Anyanwu. No joy. Again, same connection. But it goes for a UVA point. Scrambling, and the Mustangs couldn't keep it up.
Virginia really digging deep on their defensive game right now. I love Hogan coming in on that sharp cross dig, keeping the ball alive, taking away some more options that SMU was using in set 1 and set 2 to gain some more points to go on their little runs.
14-7, SMU leads. Wilburn makes it 15. Wide of the antenna.
Yeah, great hustle there by Barrier. You're almost rooting for her. You want her to go. You see that she has the fire in her eyes, but just can't get it over and bounce.
And Madison Shear will have a chance. Breakout match against Wake Forest a couple of weeks ago here inside Moody Coliseum. An error there is the 7th of the night for SMU. Shear in that one against the Deacons had 11 kills, her season high. Just 1 error on 23 swings. A .435 hitting percentage.
Just 4 of those service errors have been here in set 3. Virginia needs to capitalize on those and take those 3 points when they can.
Wilburn into the hands and back to SMU's side. Wilburn again. Off high hands of Virginia. SMU has now doubled up the Cavaliers in set 3.
Wilburn being consistent, not many errors, but not finding as many points right now in set 3. Let's see if she can go on a service run with that hybrid serve. She's able to really do some damage.
Collective ooh and ah from the crowd here inside Moody Coliseum, but the Cavaliers take the point.
Cavaliers adjusting well, knowing that Rogers last time is going underneath the block, picking up that tip, leaving zone 4 open, going for that sharp cross.
Here's Innes. 5 kills for her tonight on 31 swings. Carlson tracking it, sends it over. Rogers loses the joust to Zoe Dode.
Dode losing those few to Rogers earlier, returning back the favor, the missed opportunity that she had, putting that joust straight to the floor.
So Innes has 31 attacks tonight. Go back to that Syracuse match we talked about. 89 swings. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
Have you ever heard of Yassiana Presley?
Tell me a number there.
Oh man, I think there was a time where she probably took close to 90 to 100 swings in a set. But I mean, very rarely do you see that. But that just speaks to how much they trust her and the load that she carries. And I mean, 32 kills. I know her shoulder was hurting, and she definitely was dunked in the ice bath after that.
Ace for SMU, the 8th of the night. Batenhorst responsible for 4 of them.
Such a trustworthy person, mature athlete that you want at the end line. Low error, consistent ball.
Off the net, and an overpass. Turn up the AC inside Moody Coliseum.
The setters of this SMU team showing some love, giving Avery Carlson a chance to show off that arm she has. Thank you, Casey Batenhorst.
19-10.
With the headphones in, he doesn't want to hear the bustle. He's getting to work.
Another ace for Casey Batenhorst. 5 on the night. She gets SMU into the red zone.
Casey Batenhorst can go to bed and have a great night's sleep. I'm sure she dreams of just aces throughout the night with the way that she's performing right now.
20-10. SMU on the verge of a sweep. Wilburn feeding Rogers off the bottom of her hand. Long pass to Rogers again. Dug out by Reeg. Coming from the back row, that was Ennis. Rogers firing. From that left hand, Zode is denied. Booth. Longest point of set 3 goes to Virginia. Cavaliers are within 9.
Booth tallying up another kill, number 6 for tonight. She's back at hitting 0, so 7th kill right now. 24 total attempts for her as well, so she's been taking a few swings, but SMU has really been making it difficult for her to find the floor.
Rogers denied. Hasn't happened much tonight. She gets another chance, but sent back by Carolyn Lang, another freshman on that Virginia team from right there in Charlottesville, a local recruit. Sarah Brodner, a welcome addition back on to the court for UVA. She had been out since October 25th. AC dumps it across again. That's 5 kills for Carlson.
And no errors, you can't be mad at that. She perfectly times when is the perfect opportunity to throw this ball over, and she's scoring really efficiently right now.
21-12 SMU. Silva to Shear. Sent back by Booth. Point UVA. 7th block of the night for the Cavalier defense.
Trying to string together a few more points here. SMU in that red zone, only 4 points away. You got to serve tough, but keep it in. Can't give away free points.
Rogers to the middle for Lang, going towards that SMU bench and a little bit too strong. SMU leads by 9 now.
Lang coming out swinging, but missing right out of bounds. SMU connecting a little bit sloppy right now. Everyone looks a bit slap happy, just sending over some quick tips over the net, not getting some clean full swings here, but Gentry Limeran bringing some ball control back to SMU side.
Into the nets, an error for SMU.
Speaking of ball control, Kate Johnson coming in to serve a DS libero, hoping to keep some balls alive defensively and hold it down the middle back.
Wilburn across. Big swing from Ennis. We haven't had a ton of chances to see Ennis unleash it with that much speed. Her 6th kill.
Yep, she normally is the powerhouse kind of player, but that just speaks to how well SMU has done their research on her and been able to find ways to slow her down.
Wilburn returns the favor. 4 kills for Wilburn. And SMU is 2 points away from a 3-set victory.
That's what SMU wants tonight. They wanted to play clean, and they knew it was all about them, and so far they've been sticking to that plan.
Ennis gets it down on the line. Cavaliers trying to fight back.
Trying to get to double digits here. Kill number 7 for Ennis, working her way, trying to get up to maybe 10, looking for a double-double.
Here's Barrier, transfer from Tennessee. Shear has that one sent back. Now Wilburn with some arc on that return. Ennis. Carlson can't take that one out.
Ennis racking up some points here at the end of the set. Can she keep it up for this team? I mean, 6-point gap here, but she's finding success going down the line at Carlson. Even if Carlson gets a dig, it gets them out of system.
And this late offense from Virginia may keep them from being part of an unhappy note, as SMU, before this late stretch, Chanel, it looked like they were going to hold Virginia to the lowest hitting percentage of any foe this season. They held Northern Iowa to an .027 hitting percentage. Virginia now at .054.
Yep, and as Coach Erger is sitting there watching her team, I mean, what else could you ask for from this SMU squad right now? They're blocking well, they're defending well, and putting away the easy points, just like that. Favor Onyanwu at the net.
Favor Onyanwu with her 8th kill. That ties the team best mark with Malaya Jones, and that puts the Mustangs at match point. Shear attempting to close it out for the Mustangs. She does with an ace. That is 10 aces on the night for SMU. The last one gives the Mustangs their 9th sweep of the season. And the Mustangs have won 3 setters in 5.